Welcome to beautiful Fjordland, New Zealand. I am Korrie, and you've come along for a yoga practice with me that strives to stretch the entire body. When designing this sequence, I envisioned it as a segue session. Perhaps you'll use it for winding down after a day at work, allowing you to intentionally soften into a meaningful evening. Or perhaps this session serves to ease your body into rest after physical activity. No matter what came before for you here, we will all land on our mats today with a focus on connection to self. When you are ready, I invite you to roll out your mat and meet me on your back side. We'll draw the knees in towards the chest, wrap the arms around the shins, and soften the eyes. Bringing a gentle rocking movement into the body here. Feel the massage of the lower back, the softness that can come into your face and shoulders. Staying here as long as you wish, or beginning to find stillness with me, releasing the legs down into a shape that feels good. Perhaps it's backside butterfly, or maybe your legs are long. Bringing both hands onto your stomach, allowing the arms to rest with ease and the eyes to remain closed, we start to bring focus onto the breath. Looking for smoothness with every breath that comes and breath that goes. Start to invite it to enter in through your nostrils. And ask that air to gently leave the same way it came. With the connection between our hands and our body, feel the rise in your stomach as you inhale, inflate, fill up. Feel the gentle softness that comes as you breathe out, and invite that softness to wash over your entire body. Using these first few moments here to find ease and rest on the back side, using our breath to draw us here to this space, right here, right now. Ever so slowly, begin to draw your hands onto your heart space. One palm on top of the other, take a moment here to set an intention. What is it that brought you to your mat today? Do you dedicate this time to someone you love in your life? Or is there a feeling or mantra you'd like to remember as you stay with your breath and body here? When you have identified that intention or theme of today's practice, release your legs nice and long, stretch it out. Arms reach overhead, take a great big breath to lengthen, reaching the hands and feet as far apart as they can from each other. Eventually, you draw the knees back in towards the chest. Maybe your head peels all the way off of the mat, making the smallest little ball you can. Eventually, relaxing the head and shoulders back down, moving your clasp onto just the right knee, extending the left leg long. Begin to massage out on the right side, shifting the knee closer to the torso and then away, feeling a release into the right hip. Eventually, we'll come into our half-happy baby, drawing the right knee down the side torso as the foot is flexed as if it was stomping towards the sky. Your right hand is holding on to the outside of your right foot. Option to draw your left knee to a bend to add a little bit more softness. However, if this depth is feeling good, keep that left leg nice and long. Your eyelids did flutter open as we find stillness here, maybe you close them once again. Drawing your attention back to that breath, that full inhalation that expands, pressing into the inner right thigh. And gentle softness as you exhale, allowing the right leg to ease into this pose a little deeper. As you breathe here, if you'd set an intention today, maybe you breathe into that thought or idea. Inhaling, you say that theme to yourself. Exhaling, you feel the beauty, the benefit wash over your body. And then drawing both knees in towards the chest, rocking again from right to left. Holding on to both of your shins. And then moving over just to the left shin as you extend the right leg nice and long. Like we did on the right side, move the left knee from side to side, preparing into the left hip. When you feel ready to do so, finding half-happy baby on the left side. A 90-degree angle into the left leg. The foot is flexed. Option again to bend into the right leg to soften a bit, or keeping it nice and long if this space allows. Filling up intently and mindfully expanding, use that breath. Recognizing the softness and benefit of the exhales as you ease and release into this pose just a little bit deeper. Beautiful work. Just a few more moments here in this pose. Recognizing what parts of your body speak to you most as you hold this shape. And then using an exhale breath to draw the knees back into the chest, wrap the arms around the shins, and give yourself a hug and a rock. You can start making semicircles or egg beater type shapes with your legs if that feels good. Remembering that this practice here is for you. Eventually we'll come into our backside frog position. This pose works on the groin, the inner thighs. With a right angle into both of your legs, both feet flexed, allow the knees to spread apart, so a V-like shape between your thighs. If it feels good to do so, you can use the pressure of your hands to open the legs up a little bit wider. If you would rather some support here, your hands can go outside of the thighs. Keeping a flexion and a little bit of intention into the lower legs, doing your best to keep them parallel to each other and parallel to the ground. Hips and knees are aligned. Deep inhales fill you up, exhales open you up just a bit further for one more breath. Beautiful, and then closing the knees together, shins are hovering into the air. We are going to twist, bringing your arms to cactus. Allow both knees to drop down to the right side, perhaps bringing your gaze over towards the left when you are ready. If there is space to deepen in your body, drawing the right hand to your left knee. This will bring a greater twist into the lower back. Maybe you'll feel a stretch into the left glute. With your next inhale breath coming out of this twist, we'll switch sides. Shins up to center, knees still bent, and then drawing both down over towards the left, gaze to the right. Option to deepen, sending your left hand to your right knee. Noticing where you feel this pose, maybe in your glutes, your lower back. Beautiful. Next inhale, coming out of this posture, bringing the soles of the feet onto the mat, knees are bent. We'll start to dynamically move with our bridge pose. Palms beside your hips. Inhale, lift the hips high. Exhale to soften them down. Doing this with eyes closed, feel your body lift as you breathe in, curving into your vertebrae, waking up into the backside. You can keep moving dynamically here, or if your body says yes, coming into a bridge pose, you hold. If holding the pose, start to draw the shoulder blades together, interlacing the hands underneath your glutes. A beautiful curve into your spine, activate into your quads, ground into your feet, close your eyes and breathe. Especially focusing on the stretch into our shoulders. Hold here with a little bit of strength for just 2 more breaths. Eventually, unclasping your hands, gently lowering the back to the earth, we rebound the spine by windshield wipering the knees from right to left. Allow both knees to drop down to one side and then the other. Taking a moment to release into the lower back that got a nice deep stretch into that last posture. Bringing your knees back to center here. We'll start to acknowledge the right hamstring. Keeping a bend into the left knee, reach the right leg high towards the sky, round out into the ankle. And then if it feels good, bring your hands behind your thigh, interlacing to draw the right leg a little bit closer. If there's space, walk your hand closer to the ankle. Keep the shoulders soft, maybe your eyes are closed. Inhales fill you up, your stomach presses in towards your right thigh. As you breathe out, you find the space to draw the right leg a little bit closer. Now, if your body offers a bit more room here, you can extend the left leg nice and long. If you're feeling resistance, stay exactly as you were, keeping that left knee bent, breathing in with intention, noticing the larger muscle groups on the backside of the right leg saying hello. If you have the space to take this just a bit further, draw your shoulders and head off of the mat and peel it towards your right leg. Beautiful work. Exhaling, we all come out of wherever we were, switching sides. A bend to the right knee, sole of the foot onto the earth as the left leg floats in towards the air, rounding out into the ankle, and then drawing the hand towards the backside of the thigh. Option to draw the hand closer to the ankle, again, only if there's space, if the body says yes. This pose looks to acknowledge the backside of the leg, not to strain it or force it in a position it's not ready for. If there is space in your body today, you can extend the right leg long, checking in that your shoulders are at ease on the mat and your breath is big. Again, taking this up one more notch. If you have room, you can draw the head and the shoulders right up towards the left leg before we all come out of whatever variation we've taken, meeting with knees in towards the chest, hugging yourself in center. Before we start to rock and roll forwards and backwards, you draw your hands onto the backs of your thighs, taking movements forwards and backwards, massaging out in the spine. Eventually coming to a cross-legged seat, take a moment to wiggle out round in the shoulders. And then settle into your base. Take a great big breath in, sweep the arms all the way up overhead, palms come to touch, exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach up, draw the hands down in front of the heart, and then one more time, inhale, breathe up, sweep the arms down, and exhale, hands to heart center. Coming into a deeper shoulder stretch. Great for the rotator cuff. Inhale, reach the right arm towards the sky. Sweep the left arm behind you and then reach for the hands, trying to catch the fingers. Chest is nice and wide forward, spine is long. If you can't quite interlace the fingers, you can use a strap or a towel, something to connect with. Otherwise, just hold the hands as close to each other as they can get. Amazing work. Remembering to breathe for one more breath here. And then gently releasing, moving on to the left side, reaching the left arm all the way up and then scooping the right arm behind, trying to connect the fingers within reason, without strain. Drawing those shoulders back and away, keeping the spine long and the breath intentional. Beautiful, releasing and shaking out in the body in whatever way feels good. Take a big breath in as we stretch the neck. Breathing out, draw your right ear to your right shoulder. Inhale back to center, exhaling the other way, left ear to left shoulder. One more time on each side, exhaling right ear to right shoulder, inhaling to come up, and then exhaling left ear to left shoulder. Beautiful work. Finding the center of your mat, extend the left leg long with a bend into the right knee. We are going to twist. Reaching the right arm high to the sky, turn your belly button to face towards the right thigh, rotating into the shoulders, into the center spine. Maybe using some leverage between your left arm and your right knee. With every exhale, feel a center body twist or rotation. Using your next inhale to send your torso back to center, and then picking up your shin in whatever way feels good to rock out and to prepare into the right hip to go a little bit deeper for our next pose. Like a rocking sensation, hold on in whatever way feels comfortable. There's not a correct or proper way to do this. It's about feeling good into your right hip space as you gently rock from side to side. Releasing that leg down, switching onto the left. Right leg is long, left knee is bent before finding that twisting sensation. Again, maybe there's a connection between the right arm and the left leg, using that leverage to softly encourage a deeper twist, but ultimately asking the breath to take you deeper. Beautiful work. One more exhale breath before uncoiling yourself, coming back to center, allowing the left leg to be picked up, the shin being rocked, cradled by your arms. Not worrying too much about how this looks, doing your best to ease into the left hip. Continuing to breathe as you make this motion in your body. Beautiful job here. Allow your knees to stay bent as both feet come down to the mat. Sway the knees from right to left, windshield wipering like we did earlier on our back side. Again, releasing into the lower body. Find intention and purpose here before we come to our seated upright figure 4 position. This could feel like enough. Saying hello to our right hip, stay here and breathe if your body is feeling this one. If not quite the intensity you were hoping for, join me in fire log pose as your left knee drops down to the earth and your right shin stacks parallel on top of the left. The goal here is to stack ankles and knees as much as possible on top of each other, using your exhalations to draw the torso closer to your stacked shins, eventually hoping that our hips will open enough that the knees and feet will come pretty close together, if not be touching. Seated figure 4 is a beautiful transitional pose to get you to this deeper posture, remembering that there is no end destination in yoga, showing up for a body in the way that it needs us today. Breathing into the posture you've chosen. Use a couple more rounds of exhales to go a little deeper. And then we'll all come back to our figure 4, allowing both knees this time to drop over to the right, just for a moment to reset. Before we come to our figure 4 on the left side, right foot stays on the mat, knee bent, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Take a moment to decide if this is the depth your body needs, or if there's space on this side to transition to fire log pose. Noticing that with our hips, one side may feel like it has the capacity to go deeper than the other, and that is completely normal. With the shins stacked, if you are in fire log pose, you can stay upright, or if your body says it feels best to do so, you can start to come forward. Keeping a deep flexion in the feet helps to protect the knees, joints that we never want to feel a twisting sensation in. The same is true in our figure 4 shape, ensuring that even if you are going deeper, walking your torso closer to the legs, that there is never discomfort in the knees. Taking a couple more moments to deepen in fire log pose, perhaps feeling this on both of our hips, with the focus typically being on the top leg. The left hip should feel this slightly more than the right, no matter what form you've taken. Using your next inhale to gently come out of this pose, coming into your figure 4 if you were in fire log, before dropping the knees over to the left. Beautiful work. Coming out of that variation, we'll make our way to tabletop position. Take a moment to shift, to shake. What does your body need before we come into a few rounds of cats and cows? Inhaling to drop the navel gaze up. Exhaling to curve in the spine, tucking the chin in. Transitioning with every breath, using your inhales as a signal to move your body, using your exhales as a chance to deepen that curve as you tuck your chin in, arching that spine high. Focusing on the capacity to lift and lower in the tailbone and to really pull and squeeze the shoulder blades together. Continue with your cats and cows as long as you desire, before coming into puppy dog pose here with me. Hips are above the knees, toes are untucked, chest lowers to the mat, arms extend out nice and long. Chin or forehead can be on the earth. Looking for the deepest call or sensation in this pose between the shoulder blades. Upper body getting a stretch. At any point, if the intensity is too much, you can return to your tabletop and take a few more cats, a few more cows. Finding stillness in this pose, coming back to that intention of practice. What brought you to your mat today? Can you breathe it in just a bit deeper? Taking one final breath here in your puppy dog posture before we soften into the lower body, bringing ourselves into child's pose for a few final breaths. Chest lowers down, arms extend long. Allow just a few final moments in stillness to really draw the deepest breaths in through your nose, allowing every exhale to lower your body closer to the earth below you. Eventually finding an inhale breath that slowly and softly brings you up to a seated posture on your knees. Eyes are still closed. Take a moment to lengthen into the spine. Inhaling, reaching the arms all the way up, palms coming to touch overhead. Together we bow forward. Namaste.